colony. So this is Rasta colony. So this is Rasta colony. Say, in the river, if we're just, I have told them already where man was first created. Man, go and check the history to do with Egyptology. Check your history to do with Egyptology. Go back to the pyramids and study the pyramids. Remember that Rasta Colony have done the show about the pyramids. Go back to Pyramid Code 3 and tell me what you see on Pyramid Code 3 to do with Rasta Colony show. Go back to the pyramids. We know say that the pyramids is there in Egypt. The pyramids is there in Egypt for a reason. Remember, you have to go back and study Rasta Colony 3. Rasta Colony 3. Go back and study that, man. Go back and study Rasta Colony 3. People, you can't play that you didn't understand. Don't play that you didn't know that every bright light in the river is just that there is a bright light flying down in the river if you're just every night and that for a given reason. In the river if you're just a bright light is flying down every night. You go and ask that's why in the river if you're just why is a bright light flying down every night. Not to say that by morning that they never seen anything, but by morning I have gone and deleted the footage. Get to understand that there is the lunar moon. You got to understand all of these things is known out to NASA. Get to understand that there's a pyramid on the moon. Get to understand that there's a pyramid on the moon. People get to understand that there's a pyramid on the moon. NASA have the footage that there's a pyramid on the moon. There's also a pyramid in a place called Area 51 in Nevada. Nevada have a pyramid there. Why is there 3 pyramids in Giza? Rasta Colony, why are there 3 pyramids in Giza? Rasta Colony, go back and check the facts, man. Go and understand the documentary of Rasta Colony 3 to get to understand that there's also a Black Knight satellite encounter. Rasta Colony get to go back to the probes and understand. Go back to Apollo 11 to understand the lunar orbit. Remember that there's a dark side of the moon, man. Remember that there's a dark side of the moon. There's no communication when you go there with humans. No radioactivities work there. What did they saw when they saw when the what did the astronauts saw when they went to the dark side of the moon? What did the astronauts saw when they went to the dark side of the moon? This is to our understanding from Rasta Colony. They saw a pyramid on the dark side of the moon. They saw a pyramid on the dark side of the moon. Remember the pyramid is the whole pillars in the center of the earth. There's 3 pyramids here on earth. We went to Giza to explain this. There's more than 3 pyramids actually on the earth. But the 3 that I like to talk about is the 3 that is in Egypt. Go back to Giza, man. Go back to Aruba, Bob. Check back in a place that they call Lexstar. Go back in a place that they call Saqqara. All of these places is in Egypt. Rasta Colony went there already to document these things. People, you got to know about these things. There's also alien encounters. Remember that there's extraterrestrial aliens. People who not be known to like tourists to be as ET. Go back and check the secrets of the US government. Get to understand that these things have now been unfolded. There is 2 creatures like unto ET. Don't forget that we know about the tall whites them. People get to understand that the satellite pulling imagery every night. But every night NASA said that they might delete the footage. Remember that them is the one that went to moon. Remember they went to the lunar moon. But Rasta Colony have bear the record that there's more moons beyond the lunar moon. People, they need to know that there's more moons beyond the lunar moon. We know that there's more moons beyond the lunar moon. We know that there's more moons beyond the lunar moon. We know that there's more moons beyond the lunar moon. The lunar moon is only 1 moon. Just the other day they said they discovered 3 more new moons. But to my concern, there's about 11 moons. Rasta Colony got to understand that the lunar. Rasta Colony got to understand these things. Rastafari is gonna let you know that in the river Euphrates, the mystery of the pyramid is at Area 51. Remember, Area 51 is the place that look up for the aliens. People, you can play that you don't want to study this. But how comes Area 50? But how comes Area 51 have all of these pyramids in there? People, how comes Area 51 have all of these pyramids in there? Is this intelligent encounter resulting in an undisputed result of secrecy? Rasta Colony, we can't fly to go there. But remember, Apollo is the plane that they used to go there. Remember, Apollo is also a name of an angel. That is an entity unto yourself. Remember, these people pulling this entity in a man. And that plane will get them from moon back to earth. Because it's an entity unto Apollo. Remember, you need to know the angels as well. Remember, I told you about Metatron. He is an archangel. He sits in the back as like a scribe. So Metatron sees everything. Metatron knows everything. Remember mission control, we say for mission control, them are called Apollo 11. Houston is calling into Apollo 11. They're about 6,000 nautical miles away from you. People get to understand these things, no man. Remember the telescope can see way beyond the star. They get to understand that they see things that is in living creatures beyond the star. Remember, man, the Congress have to come and tell the people the truth. Let them know that there's extraterrestrial encounters. Rasta Colony is going to go and do the documentary about extraterrestrial encounters on the Bible. Because every time they saw something in the Bible that was extraterrestrial, they always say that they saw a bright light. They always say that they saw a bright light. Why a bright light always involved? Every time they see an extraterrestrial. We know about the SIVB. We know about the S5BB rocket stage. We know about the SIVB rocket stage. We know about all of these things to go to Luna. We have tapped into the astronaut Buzz. And hear what Buzz had to say about Apollo 11. He's an astronaut from Apollo 11. Remember, Apollo is an entity unto an angel. That is the plane that NASA used to go to the heavens. Remember, every night they might delete the footage of alien secrecy. Get to understand these things, no man. There's super intelligence, no man, out there, no man. Above the human understanding, no man. Go back to Area 51, no man. Go back to the President Black Book and go and find out all the secrets that have been known to man. Every night NASA say them a delete the footage. Every night NASA say them a delete the footage. Every night NASA say them a delete the footage. We gone up in the moon to understand what was there. We get to understand the pyramids was deep on the heavens. Pyramids is on top of the heavens. People can say that they do not understand that pyramids on top of the heavens. Remember them a use rocket go to Mars. Remember when they go to Mars you can't see all because they have all space probe suits on their face. Tell me what is in the corner of them. Tell me who is looking down at them. Is this the first heavens or is this the third heavens? How do you get leave from Earth and go to moon? How do you go out of orbit, no man? Remember that them have to use rocket science, no man. Remember a rocket plane travel about 4,000 miles per second, 4,000 miles per hour. Who on the earth can move at 4,000 miles per hour? That is as fast as a rocket can move. 4,000 miles per hour. They have the spy plane too as well. Aurora is called the spy plane. Aurora can fly about 4,000 miles per. Aurora can fly about 4,000 miles per hour. Aurora is the spy plane and they're up in there to see all that NASA wants to see. So that all that they have to know will be known. But all that you want to know will not be known. Remember that there are secrets under the sun. You can go back to those books and those texts and see the secrets that's under the sun. Remember, RASTACOLONY like to explain these things. This documentaries is being done. Remember, there's the Zanko line in the sky. Who is the ones them that make the Zanko lines? In the crops, you see some signs. You see all kind of design in the crops. You go in the desert and you see all kind of designs and drawings. Who make these designs and drawings? When you wake up in the morning and you see these drawings and these designs in the Zanko line, who is the man that made these things? Is this extraterrestrial? Remember, this spaceship can travel about 4,000 miles per hour, so that is known as a spy plane, the Aurora. People get to understand that the lunar mission, that is a mission that they say is over. But why now are they launching out and going to Mars? They say that they see structure on Mars. RASTACOLONY have unfold and tell them to go to Mars. The Father said to bring Earth under control. He never said to bring Mars under control. So why is all these people running and going to Mars? But in the river Euphrates, where man was first created, Check your history to do with Egyptology. Check your history. Remember one day and one day, something will come down and they will fly out of the sky, because I have built the record that the 12th planet is the celestial, beyond the celestial belt. Because I have built the record that the 12th planet is beyond the celestial belt. And the celestial belt is where the 12th planet is, and that is Nubra, and that is where the Anunnakis came down from. That is out of the 12th planet. The Anunnakis came down out of the 12th planet. Rasta colony have went there and document this. Remember that the United States government come and say that they have secret intelligence working with them like boys anti-ET. They have the Greys and they also have the tall whites. People get to understand that the Nortex aliens is the closest to human. There's about 166 different type of race of aliens. Right now on Earth we are working with about 4 different types of aliens. Go back and check these secrets to do with the UFO. This is Rasta colony and we need to know what is to be known. All of these things is to be known unto the Indigos. One time already they had us down here chopped up to do with ordination, to do with stone. Where again did they came and chopped up man to do with ordination, to do with stone. And then gone back on the moon again and said they found a pyramid up there again to do with stone. Is the creature above us, does they have something to do with stone? Because ordination upon top of ordination have been done. This ordination is to do with stone. We was already made pledges. We have already made pledges and ordination. We have already made pledges and badges to do with ordination, to do with stone. Now they claim that they gone back on the dark side of the moon and they found a pyramid. Rasta colony, they say they went on the dark side of the moon. Apollo mission, Apollo 11 went on the dark side of the moon. Get to understand, Apollo went on the dark side of the moon and they come back and state that they saw a pyramid. People go and check these facts for yourself, because this is Rasta Colony at www.com. Rasta Colony know all of the facts. Remember, we know all that have to be known. We know about the lunar mission. People, please come and tell the people that there's alien interstellar affairs going on. We know about the ETs. We know about the Greys. We know about the Nortex. That is the closest one to human. Nortex is the closest thing to human, has to do with extraterrestrial affair. People go back to the text them and see that there's over 166 different type of 168 different type of aliens. Remember the father said, I've given man the earth to bring the earth under their control. I've given man the earth to bring the earth under their control. I've given man the earth to bring the earth under their control. Remember the father said, I've given the earth to man to bring the earth under their control. Man, we have the earth to bring the earth under our control. He never said to bring NASA under control. He never said to bring the earth. He never said to bring Mars under control. He never said to bring Mars under control. God, you never said to bring Mars under control. So why is man trying to bring Mars under control? He is the man that said to go back to the handhouse sluggard. Consider the ant base and be wise. So why would you want to go up on Mars to see if that there is extraterrestrial aliens? Or even if there's extraterrestrial life? Remember, you don't know already that there's extraterrestrial life. Don't let me have to get my Bible and read it to you. Because even if I get my Bible and read it to you, the first chapter, I'm going to go into the first chapter in the book. Go back to Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. He told man to bring the earth under their control or under their subject. He told man to bring earth under control or under their subject. So man have to bring the earth under their control. So man have to bring the earth under their control. So man have to bring the earth under their control. He said to bring the earth under your control and bring the earth and make it be unto a subject unto you. He never said to go and make Mars a subject unto you. So why every time you fly and go to Mars? Remember that there's the top firmament, because in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Remember the heavens, people living at the heavens. There is a place called the heavens. There is a place called the earth. People living at the earth. There's a top firmament. You separate the top firmament from the different firmament, but we have also an entity that is into the heaven. Remember already he talked about Genesis. Remember we talk about Genesis 6:4. When the fallen angels them come down, the ones them who is like unto Nephilims, or the other ones them who is like unto the children of Anak, they came up on earth already. they had sexual intercourse with humans. Watch how the children of Anak came down already. You cannot believe that the Anaks live up there. You want NASA to come and confirm this when Jah already confirmed that he separate the firmament from the firmament. When Jah already said that he separate the top half from the bottom half. So the boy them that live in the top half cannot come down in the bottom half. Yes, sometimes they can come to the bottom half because there's a paradox, you know, man. There's always a loophole, you know, man. To do with dimension, you know, man. You have to know that there's dimensions out there and entities can come through different dimensions. What did I say? Entities can come through different dimensions. People get to understand that entities can come through different dimensions. Rasta Colony have made the record that entities can come through different dimensions. Watch them, I want to go to Mars because they claim to see some structure on Mars. Mars is about 3 to 6 months away in flying. So how you want to sit down in some space probe? Going to moon for about 3 months, say them I go to moon, to Mars. For about 3 months, they say them I go to Mars. Man, Rasta Colony, I tell you this. Keep off of Mars. Lucifer, keep off of Mars. Jah said to bring the earth under your control. He never said to bring Mars under control. So why do you have Mars on your mind? You want to go to Mars morning, noon and night. You want to go to Mars morning and noon and night. But when you die, they're not going to send you on Mars. When you die, they're going to put you in the earth. That is why Jah said to study the earth. When you die, they're going to put you in the earth. That is why Jah said to study the earth. He never said to bring the moon under your control. Jah never said to bring moon under control. Jah never said to bring the moon under your control. So why do every night that you try to go and study the stars? Study the stars, that is astrology. That is okay, but he never said to go to the stars. Remember, the earth is the fullness, and the fullness thereof. Galaxies and galaxies and hemispheres on top of hemispheres. First heavens on top of first heavens, and third heavens on top of third heaven. Moon upon top of moon, sun on top of sun. People get to understand that this is not the biosphere, this is not the atmosphere, this is not the galaxy. We talk about the whole universe. Rasta Colony is documented about the whole universe. People get to understand we are documented about the whole universe. The Lalabella is a place that they saw, you know, man. Lalabella is a place that we love. Lalabella is where it's into the rocks. Remember, this thing is digged out 20 stories down inside of the rocks. How come Lalabella went back to the rock? That is when we tell the man them to go back to the rock. Take up a rock and study the rock. When you die, them are going to open the earth. When you die, them are going to open the earth and put you in the earth. Or you want to be burned. Or you want to be burned. Even if you burn, you're going to go up in dust. The earth is the fullness. The earth is the fullness and the fullness thereof. Rasta Colony get to understand the earth is the fullness and fullness. Rasta Colony get to understand that the earth is fullness and fullness thereof. Get to understand the earth is fullness and fullness thereof. Get to understand the earth is fullness and fullness thereof. Rasta Colony get to understand that the earth is the fullness and the fullness thereof. Rasta Colony went there already to document these things. These things must be lyrically known. This is Ras Marcus sitting down on www.LF1 has to do with RASTACOLONY.com. Me, I do documentaries to make sure that the indigos, which is the newborn beings, know these things. We have been tricked already in our brain psychology. Now the big people them who's about 30 and 40, they still believe that half of, now the big people of them who's about 30 and 40, they still believe that half of the story haven't been told. But to my concern, all of the story have been told. That is why Rasta Colony is here to back up this. We'll go back and check out all of the pyramids. How comes in Area 51 down in Nevada, Las Vegas? Tell me, how comes they have a pyramid at Area 51? How comes there's a pyramid at the moon? How comes that there's a pyramid in Giza? Remember, these things is built out of megalithic stones. I told them already before that megalithic stones weigh unto 3 jumbo jet size. Rasta Colony keeps saying that megalithic stones weigh about 3 jumbo jet size. Now, NASA have a pyramid of their own. I will be encouraging all the members on Rasta Colony show to get a pyramid and draw a pyramid. Put a pyramid in your bedroom. A pyramid is very powerful, you know, man. What is known cannot be known. What is unknown can be known. This is Rasta Colony is letting you know. Get a pyramid and draw a pyramid and put a pyramid in your room. Remember, I'm the man that can't stop telling people to do some artwork, the man. So get a pyramid, do some artwork, and draw a pyramid in your room. Rasta Colony, know this. Rasta Colony, I go reveal this. The pyramids is like onto megalithic stone. Megalithic stone, we say megalithic stone. megalithic stone weighs onto 2 jumbo jet size. So who was the ones them that could have gone and lift megalithic stones? Rasta Colony, who is the ones them could have gone and lift megalithic stone? Remember, these things is about 3 jumbo jet size. The powers is there in the earth. Go back to the earth. Consider the earth ways and be wise. Go back to the ant in the earth. Consider the ant ways and be wise. That is something that Rasta Colony cannot say. He never said to go to Mars. Consider Mars ways and be wise. Remember, there is a different dimension. You go into the earth, into the heavens looking for a different dimension. Why not go into the earth and look for a different dimension? Remember, when you die, you go between the dirt. How comes you go between the dirt when you die? Where do you go beyond death? Why in the dirt though? Why back to the dirt? Is that a different dimension down there? Right now, NASA should have find out everything about the earth. What about the soil that do so much rejuvenation? Remember, them a germinate things every morning, noon and night. The earth have life inside of it. Life can't done. Check the soil, no man. Go back to Aruga Bob. Go back to Sagara, no man. Go back to Lextar, no man. Go back to Giza Plateau, no man. Go and check all of the astronomical signs to do with the pyramids. Jah have testified already that in the holy. Jah have testified already that in the holy lands, that is where his secret pillar is, in the holy lands. Jah's secret pillar is in the holy lands. Jah's secret pillar is in the holy lands. Jah's secret pillar is in the holy lands. Go and check Ezekiel and see what he saw. In the middle of the world is Jah holy pillows. Go back to the book of Ezekiel. In the earth is Jah holy pillows. The holy pillars is there in a place called Giza. Giza is somewhere in a. Go back to Saqqara, no man. Go back to Aruga Bob. Go back to Egypt, no man. Go back to Lextar, no man. Go back to Cairo, no man. Go back to Lalabella. Lalabella is the structure that been digged out of the rock. Lalabella have been digged out of the rock. So how can people say that the Lalabella have been digged out of the rock? Lalabella is a building of been digged out of the rock. Like it's onto a pyramid or something. Lalabella is a very powerful place. One day Rasta Colony WW is gonna go and pack up and go and touch the building Lalabella. Sorry for all the man that live down in Hollywood. Sorry for all the boys them that live down in Hollywood. That is not Rasta Colony desire to be in Hollywood. They want to go and touch the building made out of stone. Come megalithic stone. We about 3 jumbo jet size. So who was the ones them that could have carved out a church out of megalithic stones? Oh, no scientists cannot explain this. Lalabella was carved out of stone. The thing is about 20 stories down inside of a mountain. So which man could have went there? No man didn't went there with no jackhammers. So who could have digged out Lalabella? Lalabella was digged out of the mountain. Which man could have digged out Lalabella? Remember, there was no doors, it was just a rock. So you have to dig out a door first, then you have to dig out a room, then you have to make a ceiling, then you have to make 20 more stories down. Lalabella was digged out of the rock, people. Nobody no use no wood and build Lalabella. Nobody they use, this thing was built out of the rock. Who was the ones them that could have built Lalabella? Lalabella is in Ethiopia. Go back to the place north of Addis Ababa. People get to understand this is Jah Holy Mountains. Get to understand again that John baptized Jesus at the river Jordan, not far from his home. So me hope the man them get to understand about the lunar moon and the lunar eclipse, and inna the river Euphrates bright light flying down every night. Inna the river Euphrates bright light flies down every night. Why would bright light fly down every night inna the river Euphrates? People please tell me why would the bright light fly down inna the river Euphrates? This is why your bright light will fly down in the river Euphrates. Euphrates is in the middle of the earth. That is where Jah came down and made man. First man was created in the middle of the earth. You came from dirt, so the dirt you will return. Jah took up the dirt in the river Euphrates to make you. So in the ending, they're gonna stick you back. They are gonna stick you back in the dirt. Don't forget in the ending there's something called RIP. Don't forget in the ending there's something called RIP. RIP and RIP is in the ending. You can't forget that RIP is in the ending. People don't forget that RIP is in the ending. All man have to go back to RIP and get stuck back between the dirt. That is what we want NASA to go and study the dirt. Study the dirt, not to study the dirt. Don't go to Mars and study Mars. Sending all kind of probe and all kind of drones to Mars. These things is very hazardous and human. Remember, you have drones flying over people's house and a drone can crash down at any given moment. Don't let me have to go and talk about the satellites that's killing the bees. Don't let Rasta Colony have to go and touch the satellites that's killing the bees. Satellite is killing the bees. Satellite is killing the bees. These satellites is killing the bees. The same satellite that works the cellular phone. The thing is anti-catastrophic fact. The thing is more catastrophic than global warming. These same satellites them that give us cable and give us internet. These things is killing the bees. These things is killing the bees. We don't need a satellite in the air. You can have satellite on the ground. Tap into the earth ionosphere from the ground. The earth is like a magnetic force. You know that the earth is a magnetic force. So where you gonna put rocket in the air? Where you gonna put rocket in the air? You put rocket in the air, call it an angel. The angel's name is Apollo 411. Apollo is an angel. People can understand that Apollo is an entity of the heaven. This is why the plane was called Apollo when it went to moon. Apollo is an entity of the heaven. People can play that they know that Apollo is an entity of the heaven. Apollo is an entity of the heaven. That is why they name the plane Apollo. When the plane go to moon, Apollo is an entity of the heaven. Apollo is an entity of the heaven. That is why they name the plane Apollo. When they go to the moon, when Apollo go to the moon, Apollo feet is made of gold. Well, again, Apollo feet made of gold. Nothing can penetrate gold. Nothing can go to gold. Gold can work as a shield. That is why the rocket foot is like onto gold. What is all of this? Top secret. What does NASA have? What does NASA have? All of this to be a top secret. Rasta Colony. Explain it. The people them get to understand that NASA have this into the footage. We are go in the river if we're just. Yeah. Rasta Colony did it by all ends again. Just to make sure that the indigos them understand that these things is nothing to be known. Remember that these things, people say half of the story have not been told. But unto Rasta Colony business, all of the story have been told. Rasta Colony know this. Rasta Colony have to take time out to do these documentaries to make sure that the indigo understand that them are fly about 2,000 miles away from moon. That them a fly about 2,000 miles away from Earth just because they want to reach moon. Which moon? Them a say they gone upon lunar moon. Them a say they gone upon lunar moon. Them a say they gone upon lunar moon. There is more moon beyond the lunar moon. So tell me which moon are these people going on? Are they just wasting finance or what? Well, there's not to say that they fitted them with the space program. We know that there's never other entities and other aliens and other beings out there. Remember the father said he made the top firmament and the bottom firmament. What is in the top firmament cannot come into the bottom firmament. The father said he made man. Go back to the book of Genesis and see that the father said that he made man. But he also made the top heavens and the bottom heaven. So who's in the top heaven is staying in the top heaven, and who's in the bottom heaven is in the bottom heaven. Don't forget the Star of David locked in the entities that came down already. Because the fallen giants have came down already. The Nephilims have came down already. The Anunnakis have came down. The Anunnakis have came down already. The Anunnakis have came down already. Rasta Colony went there and explained this. Those was the ones that came and show man how to get metal off the earth. Those was the ones that came and show man how to get metal off the earth. Those was the ones that came and show man how to get metal off the earth. How to get metal out of the earth. They show a man how to forge things. Remember, man, they didn't know how to forge these things. Poseidon was a man that was down here. Remember, Zeus was here also. Remember, Zeus used to walk around with the trident. Remember, the trident used to blast out lightning rod. Remember, I tell you, the lightning rod is equivalent to the world energy or a global warming to do with some tsunami. With some tsunami, Zeus used to use the real energy. The real energy was being given powers unto Michael the Archangel. There was entities in the world before that used to use the real energy. Nikola Tesla is not the first man to use the real energy. You're using your cellular phone, you're not the first man to use the real energy. The real energy was being harvested by the pyramids. Ever since before that they want to tell us this. The real energy was being harnessed by the pyramids. Ever since before they want to tell us this. Rasta Colony got to understand that the real energy was being harnessed by the pyramids. Where was the pyramids first located? Ain't that Aruga Baba or ain't that Giza in Egypt? That is where the 12, that is where Jah have chosen to be his headquarters. The pyramids was being used there before. Pyramids light up Egypt already before. This is not the first time that man tap into the ionosphere or the earth biosphere. This is not the first time. Man tap into these things already. I know that King Solomon tap into these things already. He was the first man that I get to understand use the real energy. He's one of the first men that I get to understand use the real energy. That is how Rasta Colony gets to run into the real energy. Just because because they studied the one King Solomon. Remember, he used to give Rasta the depiction of the red, gold, and green, and the tribe of Judah, and the lion of Judah. Remember the same Solomon I'm talking about, his manly first father, and he will give us the real energy. That is how Rasta colony run into the real energy, just because I was studying the red, gold, and green. The real energy was used by Zeus. The real energy was used on by King Solomon. King Solomon had the real energy. He could have blasted out things like a lightning rod too as well. He could have blasted out things like a lightning bolt too as well. Solomon was like unto an alchemist. Remember, he was the man that used to touch things and make things turn into gold. Remember that there was no gold seen. It's written in the Bible. There was no gold seen in Jerusalem as much as when this man reigned. The man I'm talking about is the one King Solomon. King Solomon is the father of the one Menelik the first. Go back to the text of Ethiopia and see who is Menelik the first. Menelik the first is a descendant of King Solomon, which he is the descendant of Rastafari. Menelik the first give us the depiction of the red, gold, and green, like his father made that depiction before, which is his cousin Moses made that depiction too as well, as to do with the red, gold, and green. Remember, Rasta colony have been there before. Let the ones them know on the night of the death of the firstborn in Egypt, when Moses was supposed to paint the red around the doorpost. Remember, I said when Moses was supposed to paint the red around the doorpost, just before he went out and closed the door, he and Joshua, when they went to close the door and put the red over the doorpost, when they look up in the sky, they saw the red, gold, and green in the sky. So from that day, the man them turned around and read the red, gold, and green. When Moses and Joshua looked up in the sky before they put the red over the doorpost in the night of Egypt, when the death came down to kill the firstborn, when they put the blood over the doorpost, when they looked up in the sky, they saw red, gold, and green. When they looked up in the sky, they saw red, gold, and green. When they looked up in the sky, they saw red, gold, and green. You gonna stand there and say no, that they saw red, gold, and green. But Rasta colony have weird facts. Yes. When they look up in the sky, they saw red, gold, and green. You want to see the red, gold, and green right now? People out there, do you want to see the red, gold, and green? Am I talking a myth about the red, gold, and green? No, I'm not talking no myth about the red, gold, and green. Anyone that say I'm talking myth about the red, gold, and green, wait until the rainbow occur. Wait until the rainbow occur. Look up in the sky and tell me what you see. When the rainbow occur in the sky, remember that that's Jah's secret plan to do with man. He will not destroy the earth no longer by no, but by you understand? That is the secret plan of God. Remember the red, gold, and green. That is Jah preference. That is Jah colors in the earth. That depiction have been given unto us by Moses and Joshua on the night when the death came down to kill the firstborn in Egypt. Remember that is where the pyramids is located in Egypt. Remember Jah come down already in Egypt. You know, people, we can't stop saying that Jah came down already. Just where the pyramids is in Egypt. Remember, man was created on the river Nile bank, where civilization was from. People go back to understand that Egypt is Jah preference in Ethiopia. Egypt is in Ethiopia all the way back down to Yemen and Addis Ababa. People get to understand that these places and Addis Ababa and Arabia and Saudi Arabia and Southern Arabia, people get to understand that all of this is Jah preference. Get to understand that this is what Jah want to love. Get to understand that these colors is Jah are the nation. Get to understand that this is a covenant that Jah made with man to do with these colors. The red, gold, and green is like unto the rainbow. There you go up into the sky and see it. That is a reminder to remind you that Jah will move different in the next movements. People get to understand that the red, gold, and green is a covenant between Jah and man. That is God colors in the earth. That is why Rastafari have to put on something red, gold, and green. I invite the Rastaman them every day that they wake up to put on something of the red, gold, and green. Don't be scared to wear red, gold, and green. Rasta colony is permitting you to wear red, gold, and green. That is God's preference down in here. That is his colors. In the night of the death to do with Moses and Joshua, when they were paint the doorpost red. Remember the father told them to put the blood over there, and death shall pass over their house. But before they do that, they have to go outside to put blood on the doorpost. They have to go outside to put blood on the doorpost. So when they went out and put blood on the doorpost, they look up into the heavens up by the moon, and they saw the moon was in a yellow depiction, and they saw red, gold, and green around there. Remember that they saw the clouds that they must do with red, gold, and green. That is God's preference down here. That is God's preference down here. And as from that day, Joshua and Moses, them start to wear the red, gold, and green colors. Remember, Moses is the Remember, Moses is the cousin of King David, and King David is the father of King Solomon. King Solomon is the father of Menelik the first, who is the ruler of Ethiopia, because his mother used to rule Ethiopia. She was the queen of Sheba. She used to control Ethiopia all the way back down into Yemen and southern Arabia. Get to understand that all of that terrain to do with Egypt is a part of Ethiopia. It have been done already on the map biblically. I don't know which map are you people looking at. Rasta Colony is looking at the biblical map. Remember, I don't know which map you guys are looking, but Rasta Colony is looking at the biblical map. I don't know which map you guys are looking, but Rasta Colony is looking at the biblical map. Remember that Ethiopia, Jah said, shall be his headquarter. The man them can go and build up other kingdom. But I know that there will not be another kingdom like Jah kingdom. Watch them, I say that them a build up White House. Watch them, I say that them a send drone in the ear. Watch them, I say they want to go to Mars. Watch them, I do all of these things. But I know say Ethiopia shall be Jah headquarters. Jah done already choose his favorite colors. That is to do with the red, gold, and green. Rasta keep wearing the red, gold, and green. It ain't an ordination to do with God. Go back and check the rainbow and see that the rainbow is red, gold, and green. Go back to the colors and the ordination to do with Jah. That is Jah's seal between man and man. So Rastafari, if you're wearing the red, gold, and green and you're a believer in this, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. Because you have to get to understand that. Because you have to get to understand that the red, gold, and green, the red, gold, and green, the red, gold, and green is Rasta colors. That is Jah preference. Rastaman, you can play that you don't want to read the red, gold, and green. But me not say that the rainbow is made of red, gold, and green. When Moses saw the red, gold, and green in the night time, he and the one that they call Joshua, Moses started to wear these colors, and from that day, he passed them down unto his people with the red, gold, and green. We are the red, gold, and green people. We was the Hebrew that was down in Egypt, trapped up to do with ordination and pledges to do with stone. Megalithic stone. Go back to the ant. Consider the ant ways and be wise. The ant them live in the rocks or in the stone or in the trees, or they live in the earth. Go back to the earth and consider earth ways and be wise. So they back in the red, gold, and green. We can't even give up on the red, gold, and green so easy. We can't give up on the red, gold, and green so easy. We have to make sure that the red, gold, and green is well understood. Get to understand that this is Rastafari preference. Because from the days of Joshua and Moses, remember those was the ones back there and they saw fallen, there was the ones back there and they saw giants in their lifetime. Go and understand Deuteronomy have speaks of the giant, the Nephilims and the fallen giants. The Nephilims and the fallen angels has to do with the sons of Anak. They are from a different entity outside the biosphere and the atmosphere. So how come you don't believe that there's other races out there? And in the Genesis that they told you the other races come down, but you don't want to go and bear the depiction that there's other ETs and other extraterrestrial. And the closest extraterrestrial is the Greys, which is the one that look human. There's also the closest depiction is not the Greys. The closest depiction you get to understand it is the Nordics. The Nordics is the one that looks very close to human. There is also the Greys. I don't know if they're from Zero Jack Chakala. Zero Jack Chakala is someplace in the sky. People get to go and do some documentary and document these things. This is Rasta Colony letting people them know about the red, gold, and green. This is our true ordination. This is our true ordination. The red, gold, and green is our true ordination. The red, gold, and green is our true ordination. That's when Moses started to wear the red, gold, and green from that time zone. Remember, Moses and David is quietly related. Remember, David was there in the days of giant. Remember, David, the same David I'm speaking of. He is the man that write the kings in the Bible. Remember, David is the same man that slew a celestial being, which was a giant, man. The giant parents was of the heavens. Remember, there's other creatures in the heaven. The earth is not just for man alone, but the whole galaxy belongs to all kind of different entities beyond the 12 celestial belt. The whole world belongs to other entities. The whole world belongs to other entities. Has to do with the celestial belt. So as from that time, Moses went there and he passed on the red, gold and green depiction unto his family, you know, man. So I speak of the one King David. That is family unto one Moses. Moses then passed on the red, gold and green unto David. David had a son from an Ethiopian woman. She was the one that we call the Queen of Sheba. She was so pretty. She get the king eye all captivated because she was the one who used to do all the encouragement to do with emeralds and diamonds and rubies and safaris. She was the ones that know about stone. She used to interwove all kind of stone into gold. And then she went there already and she captivated this man's heart. How could the Queen of Sheba know how to interwove these things? These stones was onto gold. Remember that there's all kind of different stones. We got the turquoise, we got the rose stone, you know, man. We got the amethyst stone. People get to understand that there's all kind of stone. The stones them have some sort of powers. The stone them have a lot of powers. Me gonna make you understand that the stone them have a lot of powers. There's a lot of powers them in the stone. There's a lot of powers within the stone. That is why Queen Sheba used to do the ordination to do with stone. That is why she went and take That is why she went and take all of these stones onto the king. The king get to understand in all of this ordination. The Queen of Sheba is smarter than smart. Therefore, I want to get you to be my girl. After they get the ordination to be with girl, because they were used to do a lot of trade to do with stone, all kind of stone. I'm talking about precious stone to do with diamond and safari. Me I talk about all kind of black diamonds and all kind of white diamonds. People get to understand that there was all kind of emerald on top of emerald. Rasta Colony, I go there again and bear this depiction. Me I explain the red, gold and green onto the ones them. I am explaining the red, gold and green unto the ones them. I am explaining the red, gold and green unto the ones them, just to make sure that the people them understand that there's something out there called the red, gold and green. The red, gold and green. There's something out there that is called the red, gold and green. So the man them can play that they don't understand that there's something out there that's called the red, gold and green. Remember that when he get the depiction, when Moses get the depiction up in the night, when he said that he had to go and paint the doorpost red to let death pass over, this man start to read the red, gold and green. Joshua start to read the red, gold and green. All the Hebrew them start to read the red, gold and green. That is Jah preference in the earth, the red, gold and green. Remember that Moses passed on the depiction of the red, gold and green unto his family that they call King David. David fight with good lion and no man. He was a giant of a different entity out of this world. So when he gave the powers unto his family start to read the red, gold and green. His family start to read the red, gold and green. Get to understand that his family start to read the red, gold and green. Get to understand his family start to read the red, gold and green. Get to understand his family start to read the red, gold and green. So therefore I'm telling you his family start to read the red, gold and green. When Moses get the ordination, he gave the ordination unto his family. His family, which was David. David start to read the red, gold and green. Remember David had intercourse with the Queen of Sheba. She was the one all the way who ruled Ethiopia. She was the virgin queen in Ethiopia. She was the one who run Ethiopia. Remember when David pass on. When David meet up onto Queen Sheba, they link up and they did all kind of ordination. They had children as well. They had a kid as well. The kid then was born as... So when Moses passed on the tradition onto his son, when Moses passed on the tradition onto his family to do with the red, gold and green, he passed on the depiction onto David. David then passed on the depiction onto his son, which was the son that he had with the Queen of Sheba from Ethiopia. He passed on that depiction onto his son, the red, gold and green. The depiction went on to his son, which was the depiction went on to Solomon's son, which was Menelik the first, who was supposed to really ring off the tribe of Judah. Menelik the first went on with the red, gold and green with Queen Sheba in Ethiopia. The red, gold and green came all the way into Ethiopia, all the way down into King Selassie, and to do with the flag of Ethiopia. The red, gold and green is what Rasta prefer. That is Rasta preference. The Lion of Judah is what Rasta prefer. The Star of David is God preference. That is also what Rasta prefer. The holy mountains is in Lalabella are in Jerusalem. That is also what God prefer. That is what Rasta prefer. So Rasta will work with God as to do with the ordination, to do with the Star of David, and also to do with the red, gold and green. Red, gold and green. Rasta keep working with that depiction. The lion is the lion. The lions rule the earth before. They came down and take out the depiction before. The lions travel and go anywhere they want. That is like what is onto a Rastaman. A Rastaman, don't forget, you can travel and go anywhere you want. The earth is the fullness and the fullness thereof. Don't only let them man, they bring the earth under control. And you did it as a Rastaman, and wear the red, gold and green under the same covenant that I am from. Bear this depiction that Moses came out of this depiction. King David came out of this red, gold and green depiction. Solomon came out of this red, gold and green depiction. All of the men them that want to follow the queen depiction has to do with Queen Elizabeth. Has to do with Queen Elizabeth from England. Want to follow Queen Elizabeth depiction. That depiction is not from the holy mountains. Talk about royal, that is not royal. You deal with the royal crown from England. Me I deal with the royal crown from Ethiopia. You deal with her imperial you deal with her majesty. I'm dealing with his imperial majesty. Has to do with H-I-M. His imperial majesty has to do with the earth rightful ruler. So how you did it and I serve Queen Elizabeth. It's her color depiction to do with the red, gold and green. Is her depiction to do with the lion? No. Yes, her ordination is to do with stone. But what kind of stone is her ordination is to do with? She wants all of the black diamonds and she wants all the stone and all the precious stone them to wear in some necklace or to wear in some crown. But remember that all of them stones, they belong to Rastafari. Rastafari carry the true ordination into the earth. All of the Ethiopian stone belongs to we. People get to understand that this thing's put an invocation inside of me. All of the stones belongs to Ethiopia. All of the black diamonds them belongs to Africa. So tell me how could the fake monarchies be carrying all of these stones in their museum and wearing them in the crown? Go back and check the money and see if you see the queen in the money. She is there onto paper. Remember that is the same paper that came out of trees that they give you to put in your pocket. Why they couldn't give you a stone to put in your pocket? No, they want the stone to wear in the crown. They want the stone to wear in the necklace. They want to put the stone in the earring. There's different kind of stone with different kind of minerals and different property. Get to understand that there's also the pearls, which is another kind of stone. Get to understand about the diamond and the sapphire and the emeralds, no man. Play like you don't want to understand these things. These things is onto monarchies. Rastafari, these things belongs to you. Get some diamond and put some diamond in your ear. Get some diamond and give a diamond to some girl. Don't only let the monarchies that don't wear the diamond, you know man. These stones are very precious, you know man. These are the kind of stones that RASTACOLONY is talking about. The stones is the highest mineral and the highest property on the earth. That is why Queen Elizabeth is wearing the stones in her crown. Rastaman, you can play you don't want to wear a stone in your ring. I play you don't want to wear a stone and have a stone under your pillow. Bob Marley, when he used to sing, he used to rest back his head on a stone. Coming something like a Mary Cliff or something. Don't forget that I'm Christ, and Christ is the solid rock. That's what shall I build my church. And Christ the solid rock is what shall I build my church. The solid rock is already built in the church. And Christ is solid rock, I'll build my church. The church is already built in the solid rock. Go back to Lalabella and see that the church is already built in the solid rock. The church is already built in the solid rock. And Christ, red, gold and green is Rasta preference. Yes, the red, gold and green. That is how Queen Elizabeth is up there, wearing all of these stones in her crown. Rasta man, you can play that you don't want a stone. These stones is very, very important. They're very, very for healing. These stones is very, very, very significant. I can't stop talking about this stone. You are saying me I speak, think, talk. You say I'm talking whatever, because I'm talking about this stone. But how come the queen is on the money with the crown? And how come the crown having all of those stones? Where did those stones come from? The Ethiopians have made a depiction that when Moses went and visited the Ethiopians have showered him with all kind of ordination to do with stone. Remember, we were capped up already down in Egypt and with pledges and ordination to do with stone. We don't know that they had Joshua and the man down in there working on megalithic stone, building pharaoh pyramids. Megalithic stones is on to 3 jumbo jet size. 3 jumbo jet size, Mr. 3 jumbo jet size. Go back to the love chord and the harps them and check back the frequency. Get to see that things used to move by levitating. Get to understand that music and the hertz. Get to understand about the 5 to 8 hertz. Get to understand about 5 to 8 hertz. Given unto the man with the pyramids. The pyramids like onto the stone. Get back that the queen or where the stone them in her crown. So how comes a Rasta man like you up to today or any man like you not have no stone? Rasta get a stone, man. How comes the queen then already studied the stone? How come she already done got the depiction from Ethiopia? Remember that when Queen Sheba went to and see King Solomon? Remember she take him about 700 caravan full of stone, on top of metric tons, to do with proportions, on top of proportions. Rasta Colony get to understand these things, the man. Get to understand the stone is mineral property in the earth. Get to understand that the stone is the highest mineral and the highest property in the earth. Get a stone or something and wear a stone around your neck. Rasta Colony. Get a stone or something, wear a stone around your neck. Get a stone or something, wear a stone around your neck. Get a stone or something, wear a stone around your neck. Me, I gotta tell the boys them to get a stone and to wear a stone around them neck. Don't frighten to wear a stone around your neck. I'm giving you permission to wear a stone around your neck. The queen have all the stone, but the stone is in her crown. You can play you don't want a stone. You can play you don't want a stone. You can play you don't want a stone, but the queen have all the stone. She wear them in her neck. She wear them in her crown. She wake up every morning and she looked at the stone and she polished the stone. Rasta man, we have to get a stone too as well and wear a stone. Wear a stone around your neck, nah man. The stone is like unto the highest mineral of the highest property of the earth. The mystery is the mystery and the man is just the man. That is why Rasta Colony is gonna continue doing their documentaries. We have to reach the indigos out there, the one them who is now born and the one them that don't know. Remember Vatican have sit down on this knowledge for the longest of time. Now I've grown up and become a man. Now I want the children them who come up behind me to know this. They say that half of the story haven't been told. But to Rasta Colony concern, all of the stories have been told. Go back and check the secrets of the Black Book of the President. You can find all the secrets is there. Go back to Lalabella and check back the secrets. Go and check into the Book of the Monastery. You will find that all the secrets is there. So how comes in this lifetime, man, I say that half of the story haven't been told? But unto Rasta Colony concern, that all of the stories have been told. But unto Rasta Colony concern, all of the stories have been told. But unto Rasta Colony concern, all of the stories have been told. All of the stories have been told. All of the stories have been told. We went into Mars and we touched down into Mars. We leave the lunar moon and we leave the lunar moon. We went and saw that there's pyramids there. We saw pyramids on the moon. We leave the moon and get to understand that they're flying going to Mars because they understand that life is on Mars. There's structures on Mars that they can't understand who built the structures that's on Mars. That's why they want to go to Mars. Me tell them don't go to Mars. God said to bring Earth under control. He never said bring Mars under control. What did he say? God said to bring Earth under control. He never said to bring Mars under control. So why man I go to Mars? Me tell them don't go to Mars because the Earth is the fullness and the fullness thereof. People get to understand that we went and find out that there's pyramids on the moon. Get to understand that we get to understand that there's a pyramid in Las Vegas. Get to understand that we understand there's a pyramid in Area 51. There's a pyramid in Area 51. There's a pyramid in Area 51. People get to understand that there's a pyramid in Area 51. Why is there a pyramid in Area 51? Me tell them to go back to Aruga Bob. Go back to Sakarna, man. Go back to Sakarna, man. Go back to Lextar, man. So we went there and we explained the red, gold and green. We get to understand that Moses is the descendant of Adam. Moses came down already and had to take off his shoes and walk up on the stone to come to Jah. Moses had to take off his shoes to walk up on the stone to come to Jah. Moses had to take off his shoes and walk up on the stone to come to God. Moses had to take off his shoes and walk up on the stone to come to God. Queen Elizabeth had a stone in her crown. Queen Elizabeth had a stone in her crown. Queen Elizabeth had a stone in her crown. Queen Elizabeth had a stone in the crown. Rasta Colony get a stone and wear a stone. Queen Elizabeth have all the stone and wear the stone in the crown, red and gold and green. We get to understand that the depiction have been given unto Rastafari. The red, gold and green. We get to understand that is the depiction that have been given unto Rastafari. Rastafari don't start in the red, gold and green. conquering lion of the tribe of Judah is yours. Judah is ours. Judah is our house. That is where we will dwell. That is where we will consider that Judah belongs to us. Remember, Yeshua was the Christ that came down and died for man's sins. Rasta Colony, don't forget that Yeshua again was locked down behind a stone. I keep saying that the stone is the highest mineral and the highest property in the earth. God said that his holy pillars is in the center of the earth. Go back to Aruga, Bob. Go back to Giza, man. Go back and check where the center of the world is. Rasta Colony need to be done when they are ready. We document again where the center of the world is. Rasta Colony know where the center of the world is. We have went already and we have put a circle around the moon the world one way, and we put a circle another way. All of these circles interlock back into one another. That is how we get to understand that where the three pyramids is where the center of the world is. This thing was mentioned in the Bible that God holy pillars is in the center of the world. How could these pillars be so holy and they are onto stone? That is why Queen Elizabeth ran up into the stone. That is why Queen Elizabeth and them must study the stone. The stone and the stone and the stone and the stone. I can't stop talking about stone. I want the man to understand that stone is the highest mineral and highest property of the earth. If you want a house, where do you have to go and buy that? You have to go and buy a piece of property. Where is that property located? Oh, that property is located on rock, stone, bed, ground. Me get to understand that is the highest property. When you die, they put you in there and you probably teleport and go through where? A different dimension. As you're dead, what do? You lay it down. Where do you want to lay down on? On the ground. As the dead, they lay down. We're on the ground. You don't need no bed. You lay down. We're on the ground. That is how the earth get to be so important. That's when I tell the man them to get a stone and put a stone in their pocket. Just as you die, you lay down. Where do you lay down on? It doesn't matter even if you don't have a bed. You lay down on the dirt, and the dirt will consume you. So go back and study the earth. This dimension in the earth. 1/3 of them is in the core hiding. Why are they in the core hiding? Why are they in the core hiding? Fallen giants came down already before, and they lie with men. Fallen angels come down already and they lie with men. That is how we get the descendants to do with giants. That is how Moses saw the giants. That is how David again come back and fly with Goliath onto the giants. Go back in the Rasta Colony tree, Go back in the Rasta Colony Pyramid Code 3 and tell me what you see. Remember, we do a documentary, and the documentary is called Rasta Colony. Has to do with LF1. Has to do with lifelong faith in the one, the imperial one. Has to do with the I am that I am. Must be the Elohim. Check out our documentary at www.rastacolony.com. LF1, lifelong faith in the one. This is Ross Marcus letting all the man them know to keep everything imperial. And don't forget that great is great and cannot be underestimated. Over and out, www.lf1.